And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Well, there's a wind chill warning out here for western North Slope and Brooks Range area for wind chills anywhere from 45 to 75 below zero until 10 p.m. this evening. Then there's a winter weather advisory out for St. Lawrence Island for snow and blowing snow for that area. And moving along here, we've got high wind watch out for the Juneau area from late Tuesday night through Wednesday for northeast winds, possibly gusting as high as 60 miles an hour. And again, that's for the Juneau-Douglas area for late Tuesday night through Wednesday. And then high wind warning continues here for the Alaska Peninsula until 6 p.m., just a couple more hours. Already it seems like the winds have dropped down below the warning levels, but the warning remains out for another couple of hours there. And taking a look at some of the higher wind gusts in that area, we had Cold Bay had a peak wind gust of 73 miles per hour. And then farther north there along the Yukon Delta coast, 70 miles an hour at Cape Hermanzoff, normally windy area there. And Unalaska, gusts 62 miles an hour, and the to the west of Unalaska, Dutch Harbor, Nikolsky, 61 miles an hour. So a very windy day here for the southwest coast and the Alaska Peninsula, as well as the eastern Aleutians. And on the satellite, you can see the storm responsible for that moving right northward across the Fox Islands there, heading right to the Pribilof Islands, where winds there were gusting anywhere from 50 to 60 miles an hour during the day today. And the front right through this area back down along the Alaska Peninsula, spreading clouds, mid and high level clouds into Kodiak Island, and a little bit of light snow showing up along the southwest coast, but very light there. Otherwise, a lot of clearing, cold temperatures here over the interior from the Kenai Peninsula all the way up to the Arctic coast, and showers for the Aleutians. Dry day here for the southeast coast, and rolling that through again. Low pressure just to the south, keeping far enough to the south that kept it dry over even the Dixon entrance area to Metlakatla and Ketchikan, Craig and Cloaca, and those areas. On the chart today, strong Arctic high pressure here over the Mackenzie River Delta, centered over the Delta there, but continue to dominate much of the interior here with cold conditions all the way down into Cook Inlet and the Kenai Peninsula, as well as to the west here. Winds on the increase for St. Lawrence Island and up in toward the Bering Strait here during the afternoon as this low pressure area comes northward and tightens a gradient up here with wind and precipitation moving into the Pribilofs. And then those strong winds dying down now are coming down for the Alaska Peninsula with some rain there for the peninsula itself. And then back to the west here, some rain changing to showers, but the winds also coming down for the eastern Aleutian areas. Or some scattered light shower activity from Middleton Island today in toward the Montague Island and the south coast of the Kenai Peninsula, as well as the Barren Islands and that area pushing in toward Kamishak Bay. But those very light shower activity there, but that spread some clouds, cloudy day over Seward today, and the other portions of the Kenai Peninsula was mostly clear for Cook Inlet northward. And not too bad. Very nice day for the southeast coast and some showers mostly along and south of the Aleutians. For tonight, this low pulls northwestward. The front pushes northward there. That's going to pick the winds and increase the snow and blowing snow. Again, could see visibility less than a half mile for St. Lawrence Island. And some light snow along the southwest coast with still windy conditions there, but winds dropping off markedly now for the Alaska Peninsula as this front weakens. And the main low center pulls back to the northwest there. Another system developing down here coming northward. That'll increase the rain for Kodiak Island. A lot of shower activity, another trough coming in. Pretty good westerly flow out here, spreading a lot of showers in toward the eastern Aleutian areas and extending all the way back to Shimianatu, where there's another low pressure area back that way. Otherwise, another clear, cold night here. Temperatures back below, or staying below zero again, just going a little farther below than they were this afternoon. But the northern area is not too much colder than what you've already seen here, as well as areas down into the Copper River Basin. Starting to get a little breezy over the northern Panhandle late tonight, but winds aren't too bad down to the south, but it'll stay dry for the entire southeast coast. And then for tomorrow, Next system comes onto the chart here for tomorrow afternoon. Big area of southeast flow to the north of that there, again, brings a little bit of an increase in the rainfall for Kodiak Island, and probably some light precipitation reaching the southern Kenai Peninsula area tomorrow afternoon, again into Kamishak Bay, and then some light precipitation along this weak front there for the Alaska Peninsula. And still windy with some snow and blowing snow for St. Lawrence Island, maybe all the way up to the Bering Strait there, but stays cold central and eastern interior Copper River Basin up to the Arctic coast. Few showers over Dixon Entrance. Otherwise, that's about it for the southeast coastal areas. And not too bad here for the Aleutians. Just a chance of some rain or snow showers for Adak or Atka, Adak and Atka. And then for the day on Tuesday, see this low pulls slowly northwestward here. The front moves up toward Kodiak Island for wind and rain for the island there the entire day, probably from tomorrow afternoon through Monday night and through Tuesday afternoon there. Wet conditions pushing up again, trying to reach the southern Kenai Peninsula, which may or may not happen. Stays clear and cold here for the interior, but temperatures not quite as far below zero as they have been, but still definitely dry conditions across all of interior Alaska up to the Arctic coast, down to the North Gulf Coast. Starting to see an increase in the clouds and risk of some light rain in toward western Dixon Entrance. There could be a few isolated snow showers or over the central panhandle. And again, looking at those northeast winds gusting to 60 miles an hour, possibly there for the Juneau Douglas area, and definitely in Lynn Canal as well. System out here over the Aleutians brings rain and wind with it from Atka Island westward to Shemya and Attu. For the lows tonight here, we've got lows anywhere from 25 to 45 below central and northern interior on out to the Arctic coast, with lows back around the lower 30s below zero, right around minus 30 for McGrath and Nikolai there, and then warming into the teens out toward the southwest coast. Mid-30s for the Pribilofs and mid-30s to near 40 for the Alaska Peninsula. And lows south central Alaska anywhere from 5 below to 15 above, warmest down toward Homer and Seldovia there with maybe a few clouds, and lower to mid-20s northern panhandle, 10 degrees warmer to the south. Highs for tomorrow again, staying below zero Copper River Basin and areas north of the Alaska Range from the northern Kuskokwim Valley on out to the Arctic coast. Highs above freezing down toward Homer and Seward, near 40 for Kodiak, upper 30s, lower 40s there for the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutians, and mid to upper 20s, northern panhandle, lower 40s, Sitka down across Prince of Wales Island. And then for the lows on Tuesday morning, we've got not quite as far below, but still pretty cold there, anywhere from 25 to 40 below here, central eastern interior, northward on out to the Arctic coast. Much milder here over Bristol Bay, anywhere from the upper 20s to lower 30s, 35 to 40 for the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutians. Chilling off as you go west there, staying around 30 for Shemya. And for the highs in the afternoon, looking at lower 40s from Sitka southward across Prince of Wales Island and eastward toward Ketchikan. Otherwise, highs in the lower to mid-20s for the northern southeast coast. Still below zero here, north of the Alaska Range on out to the Arctic coast, upper 20s and mid-30s for Bristol Bay. Kodiak looking at a high near 42.